And good evening once again on this Friday night, day 1317 of the Trump administration. 67 days to go until the presidential election. Both party conventions are now history. Both were largely virtual right up until last night when the convention came to the Trump-branded White House lawn. Very few masks, a pre-pandemic sort of seating layout. Then came tonight an airplane hangar rally at the airport in New Hampshire. The crowd booed an announcement over the PA to wear masks. The speech was red meat for the base. Here's just some of what we heard, starting with Trump's take on the demonstrators who were confronting some members of the RNC exiting as audience last night outside the White House.
You had to see last night in Washington. It was a disgrace. It was a disgrace that these people are representing the United States of America. It was a disgrace. Protesters, you know what I say? Protesters, your ass. I don't talk about my ass. They're not protesters. Those aren't protesters. Those are anarchists. They're agitators. They're rioters. They're looters. No one will be safe in Biden's America. I can't even call it Biden's America. Guy doesn't know he's alive. He's going to be out in 10 days. He's going to start 10 days. If the Democrat Party wants to stand with anarchists, criminals, rioters, looters, and flag burners, that's up to them. The Republican Party and you, I can see you. Is there anybody in this place that enjoys burning the American flag? Is there anybody? Please quietly raise your hand. Be careful, could be very dangerous.
Just a point of order here on two things. Number one, all this is taking place in Trump's America presently. Number two, it also remains true that some of the first and largest mass gatherings we've seen in this pandemic have been Trump events. The very same president who, remember, is in charge of keeping the American people safe from this virus. And as the president continues to hold these in-person political events, the Washington Post reporting the Secret Service is now dealing with several coronavirus cases we did not know about previously. Carol Leonnig, a frequent guest of ours, reports, quote, in the past 2 months, dozens of Secret Service agents who work to ensure the security of the president and Vice President Pence at public events have been sickened or sidelined because they were in direct contact with infected people, according to multiple people familiar with the episodes. Just today, we learned 4 people at the brief in-person Republican convention in Charlotte back on Monday tested positive for coronavirus. The RNC tells Politico the affected attendees and support staff were tested upon arrival at the convention site and sent home. The number of new coronavirus cases in the United States continues to soar. Over 51,000 new cases reported today alone, and the nation's death toll has now passed 182,000 souls, though tonight the president put it at 175,000. Today, the University of Washington upped its forecast for projected virus deaths to over 317,000 by December 1. That is 8,000 more deaths than in their last projection. Pandemic also a concern as thousands of demonstrators gathered in front of the Lincoln Memorial on the National Mall today on the 57th anniversary of the March on Washington in order to demand, as they did 57 years ago, racial justice. Social distancing was observed in some areas. Many of the participants were seen wearing masks, at least. Speakers included members of the families of George Floyd, Jacob Blake. We'll hear some of what was said later in our hour. Today was also the day the president claimed success for the situation in Kenosha, which has, of course, seen a week of protests. He wrote this, quote, success since the National Guard moved into Kenosha, Wisconsin 2 days ago. There has been no further violence, not even a small problem. When legally asked to help by local authorities, the federal government will act and quickly succeed. Are you listening, Portland? Just tonight on the tarmac in New Hampshire, Trump was asked in an interview with a local TV station about the shooting of Jacob Blake that sparked the Kenosha protests. This is the most he has said on the topic.
Do you believe that officer was justified in that shooting?
Well, I'm looking into it very strongly. I'll be getting reports, and I'll certainly let you know pretty soon. But I'll be. It was not a good sight. I didn't like the sight of it, certainly, and I think most people would agree with that. But we'll be getting reports in very soon, and we'll report back.
That clip courtesy WMUR. Meanwhile, MSNBC has obtained new audio clips from Donald Trump's niece, Mary Trump, talking to Trump's sister, the retired federal judge Marianne Trump Barry. In one excerpt, the president's sister offers this tough assessment of her brother.
And then you get Donald, who won't do anything for anybody unless it's going to inure to his. Well, he won't do anything publicly. I mean, anything he did, he says, "Look what I've done. Oh, no, wonderful." And it ends up being nothing. And he's as tight as a duck's ass, right. Just like Dad was, really.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.